Hey, what's up, people? How's it going? Hi, Dragon Master 635 here today, and today I'm bringing you a series of games that was part of PokemanDan's Battle Power 2 tournament. Battle Tower 2, not Battle Power, what the fuck? But anyway, it's a TCG tournament, and it's pretty much a best of 3 games, and yeah, so my opponent is 777 Kit Fisto, or something to that effect. So, yeah, it's a pretty good series of games. In my opinion, this first one was the best. So, yeah, this is obviously going to be the first one up. So, yeah, so pretty much I am running the deck Terrakion Garbodor, which basically works around locking your opponent's abilities and just one-hit KOing or two-hit KOing everything that comes along with like catcher support and stuff, and just pretty much all around just being a dick. So yeah, works with my personality pretty well, and yeah, I like it. It's a pretty decent deck. Not really planning on making it like in real life, but you know, it's not bad. So he got a mulligan, so I'm looking at, I saw like a little glimpse of his deck, so I see electric energy, so I'm thinking this is going to be an Eels variant. We find out later that this is a Mewtwo Eels and Tornadus EX with like some Zekroms thrown in there. Not a bad deck. It works on a lot of double colorless energy, Sky Arrow Bridge, and just Mewtwo pretty much powering through everything like it usually does. So yeah, a pretty decent matchup for me because he is running electric undertones, but seeing as he's running Tornadus EX, which is really bad because I can 3-shot that thing at best, and Mewtwo EX I can only 2-shot it, while he can pretty much 2-shot, and if he wants to power a crap load out of his Mewtwo, 1-shot my Terrakions. So yeah, not really the best matchup in the world for me, but it's still not horrible. So I opt to go choose Tails, and he rolls. It's a 1, so yay, I get to go first. Starting off with a lone Terrakion EX on my side of the field, and he has a lone Mewtwo EX. I didn't want to play the Trubbishes right off the bat, just because I didn't really know what kind of deck he was running, so I didn't want to, like, you know, give him a really good first turn prize. So I just opt to play them, and I'm just going to attach an energy and pass. And yeah, I mean, if he gets a catcher and a double colorless, yeah, he gets an early prize there with the Trubbish, but you know what, whatever. I have 2 of them there for a reason. So he opts to actually end my hand away, which, no real big deal. It wasn't the best hand in the world. And he actually sends me into a relatively decent hand, just because, as you see there, I have a heavy ball and a experience share. I will be able to get a Garbodor up this coming turn. Unfortunately for him, he is not going to be able to get an energy attachment this turn, which is pretty good for me, and is definitely going to help me along the way, just because this deck is relatively slow. So the competitive edge really is those Garbodors, which slows your opponent down as well. And if your opponent is just getting automatically a bad draws, then that just helps along the way even more. So I go ahead and go for an end just because I need to refresh my hand, and I actually get a catcher, which is pretty good, and I'm going to catcher out that Dynamo to get a nice early second turn prize. In hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have catchered out the Dynamo, because as you'll see later on in the game, I probably should have held on to my catchers and used them more sparingly. But you know what? In new formats, and we're still not used to, you know, Junk Arm being on. So if you see something you want to catcher out, then you're gonna catcher it. So he goes ahead and he actually gets a double colorless onto his Mewtwo, which is pretty good for him, and he's going to Juniper away. A pretty good size hand. But yeah, so with, like I said, with like junk arms and stuff gone, I mean, it's so like difficult just to throw stuff away now. And with like N and Juniper as being your only like reliable hand support besides, you know, Sharon and N, I mean, God, I miss Pont so much. I really do. So yeah, he gets an Eviolite onto his Mewtwo, and he's gonna be able to hit me for 80 damage. That kind of sucks because on the next turn I do have to attach an energy, and but I do have a Tool Scrapper in hand, which is pretty good. So I'm going to be able to strip that Eviolite off of him, and I'm going to be able to hit him for 90 damage. And if he knocks me out, I do have the Terrakion on the bench with the experience share, and as you see here, I do have another Terrakion EX, which I'm going to attach an experience share to. I'm just gonna go ahead and play an N, because with his with Terrakion's move Pump Up Smash, I'm going to be able, if I get energy, I can attach that onto the bench in any way I want, up to 2 basic energy. So get another Garbodor, gonna go ahead and use that, and I'm going to Pump Up Smash for 90 damage, and I'm going to put a energy onto this Terrakion, which is pretty good. So yeah, pretty good for me. He attaches another Eviolite and another double colorless energy, so he's pretty confident that I do not run Mewtwo's, which I don't. And yeah, that's pretty bad for me, because a double colorless Mewtwo is nothing to pretty much fuck with. So he is actually going to play Tool Scrapper of his own, and he's going to rip my Garbodor's experience share and my normal Terrakion's experience share off, which kind of sucks because 1, I don't have the ability lock in play anymore, and 2, I don't have I just don't have that energy acceleration I need for the next turn to be able to possibly revenge kill him. So yeah, he plays a Sky Arrow Bridge, which is good for him because he his Tornadus EX and if his Dynamos and stuff are not going to have any retreat cost. He plays an Ultra Ball, throws away a Catcher and a Zekrom EX. Pretty smart play there, throwing away the Zekrom EX, because it's going to be basically dead weight for him in this matchup. Just because I can one-hit KO it with just about anything. So, because he did throw away my experience share on my normal Terrakion, I have to kind of hope that I can get the energy, and as Tool Scrapper off of this Juniper, I do, which is pretty lucky for me, and I go ahead and strip that Eviolite off of him, and I'm going to be able to revenge kill him, which is great. So nice 2 prizes for me. The card generator was being nice to me, I suppose. So yeah, that's pretty good. So I'm looking pretty strong at this point. I have 3 prizes to go. He has 4. Looking at the field, just generally looking at it, I guess you could say I have a stronger footing. But because he does have that Tornadus EX out there, which, like I said, at best I can 3-hit KO. In looking more in depth, he really pretty much has a better advantage. I've used, I think, 2 of my catchers already, so that's pretty bad, seeing as I only have 2 chances to drag something out. He plays another Mewtwo onto the bench, and he catchers up one of my Garbodors. Not a real big deal, seeing as you see I have 2 switches in hand, just because every time I get a switch into my hand, I like to hold on to it, because with everything having really big retreat costs in this deck, it's really good to hold on to your switches. So unfortunately, he's going to end those away, and I don't get any of them back off of my stuff, so that kind of sucks. But I do get a Juniper, which is pretty good. I'm going to be able to attach that Rescue Scarf, get my ability lock going again, which is going to lock that eel, that single eel he has going. And yeah, so he plays his normal Zekrom onto the bench. Honestly, it really didn't matter because he's not really fearing too much. Now right here I have a kind of different situation because I have a catcher in hand. I'm gonna want to use it, but I just don't know what I want to use it on. I mean, maybe I want to use it on the Mewtwo, which I'm going to actually go for, just because if I get another energy, I'm going to be able to hit KO the Mewtwo. Unfortunately, I don't get it, which really sucks, and I do get the switch, which is good. I do forget to play it, which he catches in time, so that was kind of my bad, but you know what, shit happens and stuff, so kind of sucks I didn't get that energy. I'm only going to be able to hit him for 30 damage, woohoo, and yeah, right there, see, he caught me, and sorry about that. So yeah, pretty much I have to hit him for 30 damage, and then it's his go. So like I said, really his side of the field has a better advantage at this point, and that's really the downside to Terrakion. I mean, if you miss a turn, it kind of screws you over, so that pretty much sucks. So yeah. Oh, man. He gets a Tool Scraper, and he's going to be able to Tool Scraper away both of the Rescue Scarfs on my Garbodors. Not a real big deal, seeing as I do have one in my hand. So it doesn't really bother me too much. So he plays a Juniper, and he's going to be able to Juniper away just a Sky Bridge and get a nice new hand of 7 cards. So it's pretty good for him. Alright. So as you see, the tables have pretty much turned in just like one turn. So he's going to be able to Dynamotor this turn, which is good for him. And he does have a switch in hand. So that pretty much made my catcher pretty much useless, which sucks. So he will be able to hit me for 100 if he decides to go for that with the Power Blast, or he can hit me for 60 because the Sky Bridge is in play, and it powers up the attack blow through. So yeah, let's just go ahead and just pretty much wait and seeing what he's going to be able to go for. Either way he goes for it, any combination of the two, he will be able to 2-hit KO my Terrakion. He does decide to go for the blow through first, and that's not bad. I mean, might as well conserve his energy that is on the field, seeing as that all the Garbodor needs is a simple Rescue Scarf for experience share, and yeah, there we go. So I get another energy now, so 1 turn too late on that, buddy. And I'm going to be able to catch her out the Mewtwo with the damage on it, because I did the damage, I did the calculations, and if he takes out this Terrakion, I will be able to revenge kill it with my Terrakion EX, which is pretty good. So unfortunately though, the problem is that this is my second to last catcher. So like I said early on in the game, if I had held on to that catcher instead of using it on the Dynamo, which really wasn't a big threat at all, I might have been in a better footing at this point, because he does go ahead and goes for the retreat and switches his Tornadus EX right back in, and he will be able to go for the Power Blast right after he ends my hand away. I do get 2 switch and my last catcher, so unfortunately this is a really bad situation for me, just because yes, I can catcher out that Mewtwo on the bench with 12 damage and kill it with my Terrakion EX, but where do I go from there? So, yeah. Pretty much, I'm kind of kicking myself for catching out that Dynamo early game, but you know what? Shit happens, and you know, you just roll with it. So, I do opt to catch her out that damaged Mewtwo, and I'm going to be able to take 2 prizes, and I'm left with 1. So I am so close to winning this match, but unless I pull something out of my ass, I'm not going to be able to get over this Tornadus EX, which, like I said, I can at best 3-hit KO, so really sucks. So I do have a somewhat of a plan. It's not a very good plan, but my plan is that the Trubbish I am running has an attack called Garbage Collection, where I get to take a card from my discard and just put it on top of my deck. So that will be my next card I draw. So if I get really lucky, I might be able to pull this out. Because if I can get a Trubbish going, I can get out the catcher, sack the Trubbish, and draw a catcher and catch her up an Eel or the Zekrom or whatever, and take the game. But I will have to get really lucky. He does go for an Ultra Ball and evolves an Eel he already played in the same turn. Quite honestly, does not matter at all because he cannot use the Eels because of the Garbodor, and it just really didn't matter too much. He does get a Juniper, and he's gonna go for it, get a nice new hand of 7, and yeah, I really wish I had a Juniper at this point. And he's going to be able to hit my Terrakion EX for a whopping 100 damage. I get an N off the top deck, which is like, well, that sucks. So really would have liked a Juniper there, but you know what? Shit happens. So I just decided to send out my Garbodor with the Rescue Scarf on it, just because I really just need to sack this thing. Because with no Trubbish anywhere in sight, pretty much, I'm pretty much, that's the best way I'm going to be able to get one. So I play the N, and I only get a Super Rod, which I do go for, because I'm going to throw 3 energy back into the deck. Look at that catcher there taunting me. It's like, haha, you could have had this game if you had just held on to that one in the first turn, but no. But yeah, I have really no choice but to pass, and hopefully I can pull this out of my ass. It's not looking very good for me at this point. Like I said, I have to get really lucky on these next couple turns, but yeah, not looking very good for me at this point. So I was pretty much dominating throughout most of this game, but yeah, I go ahead and top deck an energy, which is great if I had a switch in hand, but I don't, and yeah, not good. I really wanted a Juniper there, or fuck, even a Sharon would have worked, because I do have a relatively smaller deck, and could have done something with that, maybe. But yeah, just things are looking really grim for me at this point. I don't really think I'm going to be able to pull myself out of this, seeing as he gets another energy onto the Tornadus EX. And he's going to go for the Power Blast after he catchers my Terrakion EX, and he's going to win the game. So yeah, there we go. Really close game, really good game, I mean, to be honest. And looking at my deck, that's what I really needed, was that switch, and that wasn't coming anytime soon. So really close game, really good one. And yeah, look forward to games 2 and 3. They'll be coming up in about an hour or so after I upload this one. And yeah, like, comment, sub, all that good shit, and deuces.